Welcome to Barefoot in America. Today we're filming a second practice at the Calico 2 Trail in Red Rock Canyon of Las Vegas, Nevada. Today we're going to do more of a chair pose, and we're really going to go through some things and add some progressions and regressions to chair. So just know today while you're practicing that if I teach a posture, you can always do it that same way, but I will be building and adding some things of interest for you. I'm going to invite you to start the practice, though, seated in a nice, comfortable, easy, cross-legged posture of Sukasana. Put a blanket or a block underneath your buttocks to help give you a little lift in the hips so your spine can be long. And take a moment to just really feel your sits bones. Sometimes you'll see yogis move their flesh out of the way, and that's to root the ischial tuberosities, your sits bones, to the mat. Feel that foundation underneath you, and know that in every yoga posture, you want to create a foundation. Much like when the seed is planted in the earth, it roots itself before it germinates and peeks out of the ground, eventually growing a stem and a flower that takes a root to allow it to stand up straight. So keep that in mind as we practice yoga, that there's always a foundation, always a rooting. And as your pelvis is rooted, let your spine be like that beautiful stem, growing long, its natural curves that give us shock absorption in the spine, inward in the low back, out in the thoracic spine, in at the neck. And the crown of your head like a lotus flower reaching towards the sky. Close your eyes, take a few deep cleansing breaths. Just sense and notice yourself sitting beautifully on your mat. Connect palm to palm at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Take a moment to set an intention for your yoga practice today. Allow that intention to come into your awareness as you tune in to what's swirling inside of your mind, body, and spirit. And seal that intention with a few deep cleansing breaths. Open your eyes, bring your fingers out in front of you. You could also use your block. Walk your hands forward to a place where you can lengthen your spine, hinge from your hips to feel an opening in your hips and glutes. For many people, this is far enough. If you have the flexibility, continue to hinge and bow forward. And maybe the block for you is to rest your forehead upon. Walk your hands back up. Take a moment to switch the fold of your legs. Commonly, folks will sit with the easier leg in front, and if you have a real limitation, just repeat on the same side. Again, the block in front of you. Inhale, lift your heart, hands walk out in front of you, maintaining a long spine, hinging from your hips, and you can press into your hands to keep your hips more rooted. Let them be tools for you. Keep melting and melting and melting towards the earth. And eventually, if your forehead reaches a block or the ground, let your forehead melt to the earth. Stay for a few deep cleansing breaths. The stretch is commonly felt in the hip of the leg that's in the front, an easy cross-legged posture. And now walk your hands back up. Come to a nice tall position. I'm going to take a moment to send our legs straight out in front of us for Dandasana. Hands right by your hips. Press into your hands. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Again, lengthening your spine, bending from your hips as much as you can, finding your ankles or your feet. Let the breath be dynamic. Inhale, lengthening your spine. Exhale, melting into the forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bow and surrender into the fold. One more dynamic breath. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, melt into the forward fold. Just a bit of a warm up. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fingertips behind you. Find a bit of back extension. Squeeze your legs together like one. Press the heels away. Engage the toes so they're pointing skyward. Inhale the arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fingertips behind you. Lift your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fingertips behind you. Lift your heart. And last one. Inhale the arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fingertips behind you. Crisscross your ankles. Roll to all fours. Get there how you need to. Tuck your toes. Take a downward dog. Press firmly down and forward into your hands to lift your hips up and back. Hips rising to the sky. Lengthen the spine. Head dangling between the arms. Soften your hips and knees. Let the spine get a little bit longer. And then maintaining your spinal length, slowly straighten your knees, descending your heels to the mat until that place where you feel like your spine would have to change. And hold that position for 3 deep breaths. From here, simply walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Bend your hips and knees deeply, belly resting on the thighs. Lift your head and your heart. Notice how you're getting into a position of a chair. Inhale, float the arms up, press through the legs, come all the way to standing in volcano. Exhale, hands to your heart. I'm going to step off the mat, but stay right where you are or face the screen. And feel your feet on the earth and take a block and place it between your feet if you have one. Take your other block, place it between your inner thighs. Take a moment here, hands on hips. Bend your hips and knees like you're sitting in a chair, and remember that chair would be behind you. So you're really bending from your hips. You can still see your toes, knees stay stacked right over the ankles. Pull the low belly in like you're going to sit down, but you're going to change your mind and press through the legs, come back up. Imagine you're sitting in a chair. Bend your hips and knees. Feel the hinge of your hips. The bending happens right at the hip socket, using the power muscles of the glutes and the quads to create this co-contraction. Press through your feet, stand back up. Bend your hips and knees one more time, sinking nice and deeply. And press yourself back up. Set your blocks aside. I'm going to give you a side view for a moment. Hands on hips. Feel the bend of your hips and knees. Have a seat in your chair. Inhale the arms up by your ears. Exhale, arms back down as you stand up straight. Inhale, bend hips and knees, raise arms. Exhale, push through your feet, come back to standing, arms down. Inhale, arms up and overhead, have a seat in your chair. For many of us, we have to think of pulling the low belly in and really sitting back. Exhale, back to standing. Hands at heart center. Bend your hips and knees deeply. Pull in the low belly to maintain a neutral spine. But the tendency is many of us tend to over-exaggerate sticking the booty out. So tuck the tail under you slightly. And if you're someone who's way tucked, you might need to stick your booty out a little bit. Look for that neutral spine. Hold for 10 more counts. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push through your feet. Extend the arms at your side. Palms shine forward. Stand in your mountain posture. Inhale, bend your hips and knees. Bring your arms in front of you like you're hugging a tree. The arms in this circular fashion. Pull the low belly and sink into your hips and knees a little deeper. Your toes can still wiggle. Pull in the low belly, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press through your feet. Extend the arms at your side. Shine the palms forward. Pause in mountain. And remember I said if there's a posture that's best for you or a way of doing it best for you, take the time to do it that way. We're going to grab our block, holding it between the palms of our hands. Not gripping it, but really just holding it between our hands. Block in front of you. Bend your hips and knees, sit in your chair, float the block up over your head, pull in the low belly, sink a little deeper and a little deeper for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to standing. Set your block aside. Taking a moment for eagle posture. We're going to start with just taking a moment for the arms. Float your arms to 90 degrees. Wrap your right elbow under your left. Give yourself a hug. Hold your shoulder blades or your shoulders. Take some deep breaths. And this is the modification for eagle arms if what we do next is not available to you. If you want to take it a notch further, bend your elbows, hands come together. Right fingertips on the inside of the left palm. Eagle arms. Float the arms up to a 90-degree angle. Pull in your low belly. Have a seat in your chair. If that's enough, stay there. And if you still want more, right leg crosses over the left. If you have the flexibility, the foot hooks behind the calf. I do not have that flexibility, so I just think of squeezing my thighs together. Sinking a little deeper. Elbows at shoulder height for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Uncross the legs. Press up to standing. Relax the arms. Shine the palms forward. Stand in your mountain posture. Take a deep breath here. Feel yourself standing beautifully as we come to the other side. Arms at 90 degrees. Left elbow under the right. Give yourself a hug. If that's enough stretch for you, stay right there. If you want to take it a notch further, bend the elbows. Left fingertips inside of the right palm. Inhale, elbows to shoulder height. The hands stacked right over the elbows. Bend your knees. Sink into your chair, and if that's enough, stay there. And if you want more, cross your left leg over your right leg. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Hook the foot if it's available. Sink a little deeper in your chair. Holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Uncross the left leg. Press through the feet. Come to standing. Relax the arms. Shine the palms forward. with breath. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, have a seat in your chair, lower the arms. See if your fingertips could touch the earth. Straighten the legs, find a forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Soften the hips and knees, fingertips on the earth. Float the arms up in front of you, come to stand in volcano. Exhale, hands to heart. Giving you just a side view. Inhale your arms up and overhead, reach long in volcano. Exhale, bend your hips and knees, fingertips come towards the earth, and maybe they don't touch, or maybe you can sit low enough that they do. Straighten your knees, find your forward fold. Hands to shins or thighs, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your hips and knees deeply, fingertips on the earth if you can. Float your arms up in front of you, come to standing tall in volcano. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bend your hips and knees deeply, fingertips come to the earth. Feel your chair. Straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Hands on your mat. Step back to downward dog. Lower to your knees. Sit back to a child's pose. You did it. There was your active practice. Melting into child and making your way to lying on your back in Sukasana. Lie down on your back. I'm going to stay seated to talk you through the meditation. Just feel yourself resting on your backs. Arms drift away from you, melting into the mat. Legs drift apart, feet fall open. Feel yourself lying there. Scan your body. Feel the parts of your body making contact with the mat. Scan your body again. Notice any place you may be holding tension and invite that to soften. Feel yourself melting, softening, surrendering. Allow yourself to be heavy in the body, oozing into the earth. And allow your heart and mind to be light. Give yourself permission to completely let go. Let yourself sink deeper and deeper and deeper. And from that deep place of rest, a glimmer of awareness returns a full, deep breath back to the physical body. That glimmer of awareness expands, bringing micro movements to your body, awakening nice and slowly. Eventually taking a good morning stretch. That expansion in any direction your heart desires, as we do when we wake up. And eventually bend your knees, roll to your side. Press yourself back up to a nice, comfortable seated position in your pace and time. And when you arrive in that seated position, return hands to heart center. A gentle bow of the head. Reconnecting with your own personal intention. Give thanks to the first three things that come to your mind. I thank each of you who've joined me on the mat doing the 20-minute chair practice today. I thank each of you for creating a sangha, a virtual yoga community, as we share these practices as we share space and time in this beautiful world. And from my heart to yours, Namaste.